Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to talk about 6 steps of how to deal with overwhelm. Now, overwhelm is something we all deal with. No matter how focused and productive and in line with our vision and the life we are, overwhelm can be something that comes and hopefully goes quite soon, and we just need to learn to recognize it and how to deal with it. So, step 1 is recognize it. Recognize when it's happening, so you know that feeling. There are so many tasks, so many ideas, so many thoughts going around in your head, and you can't decide which one to act on straight away, which one to listen to, and so a lot of the time we then go and do something that is not productive at all, that is not going to help us get anywhere, yet it feels like it's an easier thing to do than just choosing one of the things that's going to get us closer to where we want to go. So we often then look at procrastination, right? So we feel overwhelmed with all the tasks we have to do, and then we procrastinate, and then we go and clean the oven that you haven't cleaned in a year anyway, but all of a sudden that becomes the biggest priority. So just recognize that feeling, and then recognize that urge when you are going to go and do that thing, go and watch that one episode of Gossip Girl on Netflix, or whatever that is for you. Just recognize it before you go and do it. So that's step 1. See the overwhelm happening. 2 is give yourself permission to stop. Right? You recognize that you're in overwhelm and you just don't know what to do, and you're wanting to go and do something that has nothing to do with anything, and potentially going to waste a few hours doing that. So in that moment, just give yourself permission to stop. Give yourself permission to not have to think about all those tasks right now and beat yourself up that you're not doing any of them, even though there are so many of those conflicting thoughts going in your head. This is the moment where you can just give yourself permission to stop. All right? And from here, in this stoppage, in this stopping yourself from beating yourself up, in this stopping yourself from going to do that thing that you're about to procrastinate with, is give yourself permission to be here right now, allowing that you are in overwhelm. And in this moment, you can do a couple of things. Sometimes it's just good to just sit there and breathe. Close your eyes. Take a few moments to feel that breath going in through your nose and down to your belly, and really letting it go then. And sit there and do 6 breaths. And just bring yourself to center. You'll start to calm down those scattered thoughts. You'll start to calm down the racing mind and just help bring you to here. The other thing you can do, because I know sometimes when I feel overwhelmed, I feel like there's lots of restless energy inside of me. So great thing to do is blast on a really feel-good boppy song, like a Katy Perry Raw, or something that you can just get up out of where you're sitting down, get up out of that overwhelm and blast that music and just get that extra energy out. All right, no thinking about anything, just feeling into your body and feeling into the song and getting it all out there. 3 is to brain dump everything that's going on in your head. Going on in your head. Get it all out. Marie Forleo shared in one of her videos that inner chaos creates outer chaos. All right, so that overwhelm is really creating this inner chaos in us, right? The scattered thoughts. And so a way to start to process that is to get things out of your head and onto paper. So all the little ideas, all the to-dos, all the pressing deadlines, the things that make you wake up in the middle of the night sweating, face them, articulate them, and get them out of your head. Trust me, it's way better than, that haunting thought, that haunting thing of, shit, I have to pay for my health insurance before it's overdue and I have to pay a late fee, right? And sometimes that thought wakes you up in the middle of the night and be like, I don't know if I want to continue with that health insurance, or I need to do some research, or I need to, and it becomes this big thing in your head, yet it like haunts you and it pops up in the most inappropriate times. All those things that you're running away from because you don't know how to deal with them yet, those are especially the things that you want to get out of your head onto this sheet of paper right now. Promises you've made to friends, promises you've made to yourself, goal ideas, project ideas, intentions, anything that's been piquing your interest. And this is really just a way to help us create some white space and empty our minds of these things, to create a bit of calm so that we can have a look at that list and really then decide what needs our attention. Now that you've brain dumped this big list of scattered thoughts and ideas, what I'd love for you to do is to go through the list with the lens of who you are, your values, your strengths, and what you really want. Right? So you might already have your goals listed out, what's important to you, where you're wanting to reach to, who you want to be, what your intentions are, who you're wanting to become. So with that lens, look at this scattered list of big things and small things and fleeting thoughts, and go through and see what's really important to you. If the things are not really important, if there are lots of shoulds on there, but you're not really inspired or wanting to do it, cross them off the list. All right, just get them off there, because there is enough on there that you want to choose to do because it's getting you closer to what's important to you, than wasting time on these little things that are either not necessary for your life to just progress. Unfortunately, there will still be things on there like health insurance might be important to you, or getting the laundry done, or grocery shopping, or cooking for the family. Those things might not necessarily excite you, but they're part of what makes up your everyday life for you to be able to get through it. But then there's going to be other things that are exciting to you, that are calling to you. And now that you have brain dumped them out and seeing them all there, right, instead of them being all in your head and you're not paying attention to them, that's why they're kind of sneaking up when you're least expecting it, you might start to get a little bit excited. You might start to go, oh yeah, if I could do that, that would be awesome. So really, step 4 is seeing that list and crossing off what is not getting you to where you really want to go. And now step 5, to prioritize and schedule the things that are left on your list that you have decided are important to you or are necessary for your life. All right, so you might have different ways in which to prioritize. So I like to put things down either on the master to-do list in my diary, so that's kind of like a sectioned capture all for all the someday, maybe, at some stage. I might not have a date yet or a month yet in which I need or want to do that thing, but it's going to go in a place that I trust myself that I will look at, and it's captured somewhere and it's there. Right? And so I've got different pages for different areas of life. So one area might be finances, one area is health related, one area is home related, one area is business related, and so on, right? So you might want to just pop them there, knowing that you'll check in with that list on perhaps a monthly or quarterly time frame when you're looking at scheduling in months and days and weeks of your life. Other items on there, you might need to actually schedule onto a day, or you already know that in a month that action item is going to come up, or that project is something you want to work on, or that month is when you want to focus on that part of a goal for you. The other part of this that's important is the closer actionable things, right? The things that you'll be doing soon or shortly. I would love for you to write down those action items in a way that they're actionable, right? So, for example, if one of your projects is to write a book, that can be really big. Like if you just write an action item of write a book, even that in itself can bring on that feeling of overwhelm, because you're like, where do I start here? And what's important? And I don't know how to do that. That action item could become a project with smaller action items below that. right? So an actionable thing would be to research book topic. So that could be part of it. Brainstorm potential titles for book. That's another very actionable step. So when you come to that, you can dive right into the doing rather than once again having to take time into the how does this work and what am I doing here and where do I start and how do I start. So that's another important part to really make it actionable. Now, step 6 is to take action, right? Now is the time to cut through all those tasks and start doing what you have decided is important to you. Now, there are 2 ways to go about this. So obviously, you've broken down all those tasks and you've prioritized and you've scheduled them or put them onto your master to-do list. So hopefully you've then decided that, well, today or in the next week, these are the most important things that I need to get done. And please check and make sure it's a realistic list, okay? We often overestimate what we can get done in a shorter space of time. So give yourself the opportunity to succeed by not over-scheduling yourself. Really looking at how many hours you have to get things done, and a lot of the time some of these tasks will take you a little bit longer than you're expecting. So you might need to play with this for a little while until you sort of understand the tasks you've put for yourself, how long they take in reality for you to accomplish. Really, so you can feel like you're successful at the end of the day, right? Because there's nothing worse than going to bed at the end of the day feeling like you've worked your ass off but not having actually gotten anywhere. So going back to it, there are two ways to start to take action. For some people, what did they say? Eating the frog, right? Taking the most important task of that day and getting that out of the way first thing is a great way to enter into your day, because then you know that no matter what happens the rest of the day, no matter what distractions might happen, what sort of detours or other things that pop up, you know you've gotten that most important task out of the way, right? And that helps you already have a fantastic feeling of accomplishment. There's other days or other people that like to start small and build momentum. And I tend to be more that second type of person. Sometimes I'm like, eat that frog, let's go down, let's do it. Let's conquer the task list and get the biggest, hardest thing out of the way. And there's other times when I'm like, okay, look, that's just, I can't quite get there yet, so I'm going to do some of the smaller tasks on my list to help me build up that momentum, to help me start to feel like I'm already being successful and giving me more confidence and forward momentum to go and tackle that bigger one later. So really play around with it and see what suits you and what mood you're in, and really check in with which way is going to help you feel the way you want to feel at the end of the day. Right. So those are my 6 steps on how to deal with overwhelm, and hopefully you've worked through them and you've come out the other side feeling a little bit more in control, a little less scattered, and more into that aligned action that's going to take you where you want to go. And first time I'm saying this, but if you like videos like this, please click subscribe and follow me on social media, wherever.